Hey everyone, it's Dirk from MoeBot Mowers Australia. So we've just unboxed the brand new MoeBot/Sunseeker X3 robotic mower for yards up to 800 square meters. Just going to have a little bit of a discussion about placement of your RTK or reference station, as well as your charger, what's included in the box. You can have a look at the unboxing video where we go through the actual opening of the box. However, now that I've had a better look at it, a couple of things. Firstly, the reference station comes with a 10-meter lead, as well as its own power supply. Some mowers will allow you to connect the reference station into the back of the charger. That's not the case with the Sunseekers. They do run their own power supply, so you will need 2 power points when you're setting up your mower. As I said, this will give you a 10-meter lead, so you can be 10 meters away from a power point. That should give you plenty of options in terms of setting up your reference station in a clear spot. Now, while I am on the topic of the reference station, it is very important that this is in a wide open area where it can get a very good view of the sky in all directions. 360 degrees around, it needs to see a lot of the sky. The more of the horizon you can see, the better, because the more satellites it's going to see. You cannot place this up against your house wall or up against a tall tree or a shrub and expect your mower to work reliably. As we say with all robotic mowers, the RTK ones, placement of your reference station is the most critical point of a successful installation. Like I just said, if you place it up against a wall, too close to your house, too close to a tree, under a tree, you're going to be limiting the amount of satellites that reference station is going to see, and you're going to have issues with the navigation of your robot, getting lost, wandering around erratically, having issues driving out of bounds, etc. The other thing that's often misunderstood in regarding to reference stations is once you place that into its position and you start mapping with your mower, it needs to stay there. If that moves, either wobbles around in the wind, your map is going to wobble, or if you were to turn that even by a centimeter, it's going to turn your whole map. And obviously if you take it and move it anywhere else, it's going to throw out your whole map, so you're going to have to delete all your maps and start again. Another very common question we get is, do my reference station and my mower need to have line of sight? What happens if there's a building in between, like if my reference station is in the backyard and the mower is in the front yard, is the mower still going to work? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, they will work, but they don't need line of sight. So what they use is a radio signal to communicate between the two. For most brands, you're talking 200 to 300 meters of range. And that is going to be more than enough for a small mower like this, which is only rated for 800 square meters. You'd be able to quite successfully mow your neighbor's yard, maybe even the next neighbor along, and still have good connection to your reference station. So now that we've unboxed the mower, we've powered up both the reference station and the charging station. The mower is now charging, and the next step is to go into the Sunseeker app. Get that app if you haven't got it already, set yourself up an account, and then you scan the QR code on the back of the mower to add the mower to your app. And from there, set up your Wi-Fi on the mower. From there, you will add the reference station by Bluetooth to the app as well. And then once you've set up the Wi-Fi on that, you'll need to do a firmware update on both the mower and the receiver. And once all that's done and your mower's got enough charge in it, you've fixed your reference station into place, you've fixed your charging station in place, then you can start mapping. Okay, so my mower is charged, reference station is set up. Now I'm in the app, I've just got to start mapping. I'll tap on Start Mapping. It gives you some instructions there, so if you're unfamiliar with robotic mowers or this brand in general, you can follow those instructions there. Then you swipe across to the next one. Tells you how to create a map. Gives you screenshots of what you're going to see in your app. Some tips on preparation before mapping. And once you've done that, you can tap ready, and it's going to do a self-check. So this is going to take about 3 minutes, maximum of 3 minutes. Mine just finished in about 10 seconds while I was talking there. And now it's giving me the option I can set up a work zone. So I will tap on that. It gives you the option to have a practice, so you can either start a practice or you can skip. I am going to press go. The mower is automatically going to drive itself out from the charging station a couple of meters, and now I've got the option to start mapping. So what I will do, as per it says here, it says we recommend that you first control the robot to the edge of the lawn. So using the joysticks on the screen, I will then drive that onto the edge of the lawn. As you can see here, we've got some joysticks, the left one being forwards and backwards, the rear one being left and right. So we'll drive up to the edge of the lawn. Now when you're mapping, it is best to keep about 5 to 10 centimeters off your edges. Doesn't matter on an edge like this where there is no hard surface for it to bump into, but if you are up against a wall, for example, keep it about 10 centimeters off the edge. That way you're not going to scrape your mower up against the wall. It's going to keep it cleaner and looking new for longer, and you're always going to have to do some whippersnipping when you're up against the wall anyway. So whether you're doing 5 centimeters or 10 centimeters, it's not going to take you any extra time. Now that we've reached the edge of our lawn, we're going to press on start mapping. It gives us some more scenarios of what we can do. Let me just have a quick look at that. Yep. AI mapping, cross boundary. So cross boundary is what we could do here, where we've got grass meeting a flush surface being this gravel driveway. This is road based, it's quite solid. If it was loose gravel, I wouldn't recommend putting one wheel onto the gravel, but this being pretty solid, you can. You can obviously choose not to do that, but anyway, we're going to just drive here, and as they recommend, follow closely behind the robot and control it to move until the path is closed to create a work zone. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a big loop. This is obviously not a standard suburban lawn. It's a little larger than most people's lawns, but the process is the same. We drive it around. Doesn't have to be straight lines. You can follow your curved garden edges or whatever edges you've got. Just steering around. And then the aim is to go back to your starting point, where you'll then be able to save that map. Now I'm going to drive just in front of the charging station here, so it should then automatically recognize the charging station in the map. If you have your charging station further removed from your area, you will have to create a path for the mower to drive back into the charger. Now on my app here, I can see the little dot showing where I started from, and now I've got the option to finish and save my map. The map has been successfully saved. Would you like to continue mapping? I'm going to press no, because I'm going to assume that that's all I need to. There we go. We've got the map up on the screen. I can now press return, and the mower will drive itself into the charger. This is a good thing to test after you've created a map. Just make sure that the mower knows how to get back to the charger. The last thing you want to do is start your mowing. It does the whole cycle and then runs out of battery because it can't get back into the charger. So it is definitely a good tip to always send it back to the charger before you start any mowing, just to make sure that it really knows where to go. As you can see here, it's starting to line up. It knows where it is on the app, and then it's going to use the QR code on the front of that charger to line itself up using the camera on the front of the mower. And there we go, straight in. Beautiful. So from here, we haven't set a cutting height yet. So we'll go into map management and we can tap on manage, and we don't actually need to add any of those zones. So that wasn't in map management. Let's go back. It may be in the schedule. Let's just tap on start. All right. Sorry, I forgot this has got manual height adjustment. So let's just have a look. We'll drop that down to 35 millimeters. So some robots will have in-app height adjustment. Generally the cheaper ones will have manual height adjustment like this. So I adjusted that down to 35 millimeters, which is probably a couple of millimeters higher than what my other robots mow this lawn at. I'm just having a look. Yep, it's not really taking anything off the top, but it has started its cutting. So we might just adjust that down a little low. We'll go down to 30. And now I can hear that it is starting to cut a little bit off the top of that lawn. So there you go, guys. That's the basics of a setup of your new Sunseeker / MoeBot Acre Eater X3 robot mower. 17 degrees is about the maximum it's recommended for, so don't try and put it on super steep slopes. If you do have steep slopes, you'd be better off with the Acre Eater 3000 or the Pro, being the 6,000 square meter. Very similar design, but rather than just casters on the back, it has a powered steering wheel, so it is an all-wheel drive mower, rated to about 35 degree slopes. Otherwise, we do have other brands as well. You can find us more information on those, robotmowersaustralia.com.au, or you can give us a call, 1300 762 666, and we'd love to give you some advice. We've had plenty of experience with all sorts of robots on all sorts of lawns. Definitely reach out if you're not sure. We'll give you a recommendation on what might be best for you. But until then, happy mowing.
Okay, let's go.